on the other hand, there are people who would actually, they have forgotten about the past, they've overcome those things that have cost them pain, they've went beyond the glories of yesteryears, and they're not thinking so much about this present. Well, in fact, you probably have met some friends, family members, who are somehow stuck in what's going to happen in the future. These people, we've got two kinds of people that I know, and I could assess somehow that relates to the future, and the concentration is on the future. First group of people that somehow relate so much and concentrate so much and cater so much to the future do not do anything. They want to diet tomorrow. They want to do their homework tomorrow. They want to find work tomorrow. So a lot of things that they want to do tomorrow, but they're not lifting any finger at the moment. But on the other hand, there are people who actually concentrate on the future as well, who go to the other extreme end, and these people are concentrated on working and even sacrificing, that they're not even enjoying their lives right now. They're enduring their lives, sacrificing even, so that they could save up and secure what's going to happen. Do you know people like that? Well, in fact, you probably have heard of some news article, or read some news articles, probably have heard some newscasts that talk about some people who they found dead in their apartments or in their rooms because they did not have any food to eat, or they died of starvation, and then somehow hidden, stashed somewhere, is a huge chunk of cash that they didn't want to spend because they're waiting for what will happen tomorrow. So there are people like that. In relation to time, you've met them. The second thing that you probably could identify with has something to do with meaning and purpose. So you got the shared experiences of your deepest need in relation to how you relate to experiences in time, and these are people. There are also people somehow who have shared experiences regarding their need in relation to meaning in life. Well, in fact, very conscientious people have been asked, what is it that is your question in your life? The greatest question you ever have. Many times over, the number one question is, what am I here for? What is the meaning of my life? And many people, as I said, who are conscientious do ask that, and praise God, and somehow I admire and commend those who would ask this, because I know that there are a lot of people too. You're probably one of them, we may be one of them, okay? But we're saying that there's a lot of people who don't even care what they're here for. That's the reason why wherever culture takes them, they just flow with it, and they just flow along with the culture wherever it takes them, because they don't know where they're going. They just go with the flow. And so when the flow goes bad and evil, they just go along with it because we don't know where we're going. But there are people who have asked, what is the meaning of life? And it is something that people have actually looked at. And I've heard so many answers regarding this. And if I ask you, probably if I go around this room, and if I ask you, should I do that? Probably go around this room and ask people, what do you think is the meaning of your life? But if I do, I'm not going to do it. I'm not scaring you, okay? But if I ever do that, I would assure you, we're going to have a lot of different answers. So with all the answers that I've found, somehow I would summarize it, not so much in one statement, but somehow a series of stages, that in different stages of life, somehow there's a different meaning that carries on as you grow older. The first thing I saw as meaning of life starts off with the little kids. And what is that? I would say these things are, it's like the sense of wonder. Okay? The sense of wonder. And what is this? If you've seen a baby, you may be looking at something that is very common. You see your finger. You see a hand. Have you ever played with your baby and just like playing with your hands? Like doing this? Okay? And what is their reaction? You see their eyes. You give them colors that are bright. Show them balloons, and you see their eyes like, wow, like really open, so big. Okay, somehow there's a sense of surprise every time because they're finding new discoveries. Very common to us adults. Isn't that true? Is this common to us adults? How many of you adults actually, when somebody do this to you, you would go, wow. But for little kids, for babies, it's a sense of surprise, sense of wonder, sense of something that is new. And this somehow carries over in our lives. We still, as adults, carry this as meaning of life because even as adults now, what do? We want to explore the world around us. We like to go to Grand Canyon. We got to go to that city on a hill. We want to go to that city by the bay. We want to go to that city that never sleeps. You know what I'm talking about. But we just want to go to places so that we'll be thrilled and excited about new stuff. We want excitement. We want adventure. We want thrill. That's why we go to. We pay big bucks to go to Magic Mountain to punish ourselves. Right? To punish yourselves. Why? Because there's a sense of thrill and amazement that comes with that. The next thing, and that's the reason why, when these things are not happening to us, life seems to be very boring. Have you heard your kids say that? I'm bored. You're traveling for miles and miles. Just your kids say, I'm bored. Okay, they're not doing anything. And this is a reality because there's a sense of meaning in finding wonder and surprise. The next thing, as they grow older, what's next? They no longer just get amazed or amused by a hand that's moving or a colored balloon or by colors. Now what they do, when they see, for example, a simple thing there, they start assessing what's going on. They start trying to find out what it is. How many of you babies have ever stuck something on an electrical outlet? Okay? And you would wonder, why? How many of them have ever tried playing with your cupboards or your cabinets? How many of them have tried pulling some books from the bookshelves? Okay, now because they're no longer just amazed by something they see, but now they want to discover something. They want the reality, okay? And they now require explanation regarding this reality. That's the reason why, as kids are growing, at somehow 2, 3, 4, you'd see them start asking you questions. Mommy, Daddy, what is this? Why am I here? No, they didn't say why am I here. Who created me? You know, all of those things. They ask you a lot of questions, and sometimes we get irritated with them, don't we? Because there's a lot of questions they ask. You know what? When your kids are asking you questions right now, be happy about it. At least they think you're smart. They think you know everything in the world. But that's a sense of discovery, and as we grow older, that's something that you and I carry along as a sense of meaning. That's the reason why, isn't that true? That we hate people when they betray our trust and they lie to us. We don't like people lying to us. They want us, or we want them to tell us the truth. And that is so true to the fact that even if the truth is going to hurt, at least a lot of people I know, even if the truth is going to hurt, they would still ask them, tell me the truth. Do you have any other woman in your life? Isn't that right? So the truth may hurt them, but it's still better than somebody lying to them. At least they could approach the situation in a manner that they're not lost because they know what to approach. There are some truths that are very hard to take. When your wife asks you, am I losing weight? As much as you want to tell the truth. Have you seen that commercial with Abraham Lincoln? Have you? Like the wife was asking, you know, am I losing weight? But somehow there are people who have a hard time. That's the reason why some people would say you can't handle the truth. But somehow, as I said, we still want it. It may be very difficult, but we feel betrayed when we don't get the truth. And then eventually, as this little kid grows older, we start having problems with them because now they start writing some love notes to some people at the age of 9. Okay? They start having affection towards their classmates. Why? Because now they're longing for love. So in this stage, the meaning of their life for them is love. And we carry that over even as we are adults. Isn't that true? That love is still something that we find the most beautiful and greatest motivation there ever could be in relationships. In my relationship with my wife, I pray to God that she is here with me because she loves me, not because I have a lot of money. Because she's greatly mistaken, if that's what she's thinking. What I'm saying is, this is the reality. We want to love each other. In fact, it is so much a part of the meaning you're looking for, that if you are not being loved, you hate the world. It does not matter if you own the biggest house in the entire California. It doesn't matter if you've got the greatest looking car, the most expensive one at that. It doesn't matter if you've got all the toys, the latest videos, the latest games out there. It doesn't matter if you've got the most prosperous business out there, but if the person you love does not love you, you want to die. And well, in fact, there's a lot of people who are so rich who cry in front of me because the person does not love them. Everything is being offered to them. They're living a wonderful Disneyland kind of world or fantasy world, but they don't like it. The only thing that will matter to them is if that person who has somehow left them would come back to them and love them again. The longing for love. And as we grow older, so we got all those, now we get involved with a woman, and then we try to establish the next stage of our life, which is the search for significance. We want to know what is our value. Who am I? And we get affected when we look around and we see a lot of successful people based on the world's standard or definition of success. For the world, the definition of success is how much value in dollar are you? Bill Gates has a certain value. What? Something billion? I don't even know anymore. It just keeps going up by the billions every second. I'm not sure, but that's his value somehow. But if you ask me what my value based on that is, I will not tell you. Because it will be embarrassing. But I don't feel that I'm not a valuable person. But this is something that the world makes us want to feel, and that's the reason why we see somebody is probably, like for example, the founder of Facebook. Is it Facebook? Okay, the founder of Facebook is now considered to be the youngest billionaire there is, just because of Facebook. Now, I'm sorry if I said just because I know some of you are probably addicted to it. That's where your world revolves around in. You cannot live this life without Facebook, right? Okay, so, but there's a sense of longing to be valued. That's the reason why some of us work so much trying to have 2 jobs or 3 jobs while trying to prove to the world that we are valuable. We want to be successful, we want to have a good business, we want to have a lot of money in the bank, because it is by doing so that we find some meaning in life, since we are now valuable people. See, valuable. I am an important person now. But in the meantime, while we are being so busy trying to work and work and work and trying to establish ourselves as somebody who's important, somebody who could recognize, we are missing out on the most valuable people in our lives. We are being so, I've seen this, and I know you probably have a lot of friends who have seen this and observed and noticed those experiences in their lives as well, wherein somebody gets so busy working for their family because she wants to provide, or he wants to provide for his wife, for his spouse, or for his children. He wants to provide a comfortable home, that there's got to be no problem with storage space or cluttered rooms because they don't have anywhere to place things to. Okay? So you get so busy with all these things that in the meantime, we are letting go of very precious moments that we would be spending with our daughters, with our spouses. That's the reason we get shocked. A lot of people get shocked. Why? I have treated her as a king, or him as a king, and I've treated her as a queen. I've provided everything for them. I've given everything to my kids. Why are they turning away from us? Why are they a part of a gang? Why are they rebelling against us? And why did my wife cheat on me? And why did my husband cheat on me? It's because we got so busy trying to prove our value.